Somewhere out on the unquiet ocean, a ship with blood-red sails is cutting through the waves. We don't know who's steering it, we don't know exactly where it came from, but what we do know, wherever it goes, trouble follows. A powerful trading company is threatening an entire race of peaceful, turtle-like people, the Tortugans. And after everything that's happened so far, we still know almost nothing about them. However, what we do know is truly terrifying. They are the Red Reef Trading Company, and they are shaping up to be one of the most intriguing new villain factions ever introduced to old-school RuneScape. Jagex announced the Red Reef is going to be released this month, so let's break down every single piece of confirmed canon lore we have on them so far. Plus, some of the wildest fan theories the community has been cooking up ahead of its release. Let's get into it. So who exactly are these people? At their core, the Red Reef Trading Company is a commercial enterprise, but don't let their business-like name fool you. They are the primary antagonists of the brand new Tortugan quest series, and everything we've seen from them so far suggests they may just be Gillinor's next biggest threat. Their operations are centered in a region of the unquiet ocean known as the Red Reef, a stretch of ocean named fittingly after the vivid red coral that grows on the seafloor there. And sitting at the heart of their territory is an island called Red Rock, which serves as their base of operations, and presumably their main hub for processing and exporting goods. So what's the actual business? I mean, what are they trading? Red coral. They harvest it from the seafloor using massive underwater machines called coral dredgers, industrial equipment designed to rip that coral right off the reef and bring it to the surface. From there, it gets processed into some sort of red material and exported for trade. Now, on the surface, pun intended, that might sound like a fairly straightforward resource extraction operation. But when you factor in the Tortugans, a race who reside on the Great Conch, who are living right in the middle of this, it all starts to look a little bit more sinister. See, the Tortugans are peaceful, their home is in the sea, and the Red Reef Trading Company doesn't seem concerned about that. So what do we know about them so far? The Red Reef Trading Company made their first canon appearance in Troubled Tortugans, the quest that launched alongside the sailing skill in 2025. The quest takes us along the shores where the Tortugans nest, specifically a location called the Little Pearl. We are there to protect Tortugan eggs from a shellbane griffin attack, a simple enough part of the quest, but something strange happened when we arrived there, something very, very interesting. As we reach the island, a ship with red sails is spotted in the area, and then it flees. No confrontation, no explanation, just gone. I think it's safe to assume that this ship belongs to the Red Reef Trading Company. It seems to be heavily implied, and I mean, the red sails are clearly a dead giveaway. But there's another thread here too. You see, earlier in the quest, we meet a Tortugan named Flooper, an injured NPC who has clearly been through something terrible. Her own crew betrayed her. She was thrown overboard, and she suspects that this betrayal wasn't random, that it may be connected to something much bigger. Flooper says during the quest, quote, "My captain, my crew, they betrayed me, stabbed me with my own spear, and abandoned me to the waves," unquote. And when asked if the ship with red sails is connected to her old crew, Flooper says, quote, "I think so, but I need time to think. I need time to work out what it all means," unquote. And so that's what Troubled Tortugans leaves us with. A shadowy organization, a traumatized survivor, and more questions than answers. Let's talk about what we actually know about how the Red Reef Trading Company operates. Their primary method of extracting red coral is those coral dredgers we mentioned a little bit earlier. Large underwater machines that are deployed on the sea floor. In the Red Reef quest, according to the old school RuneScape Wikipedia, players will actually get hands-on with these machines, using a diving bell to descend underwater and repair the broken machines as part of the investigation. That sounds like it'll make for some interesting gameplay, but it also raises a lore question. Why are the dredgers broken? What happens to them? Is this sabotage, an accident, or something else down there that we haven't encountered yet? Beyond the dredges, the company employs workers and sailors at Red Rock. So this is a proper operation with a workforce, infrastructure, and presumably a very clear profit motive. Every great villain organization needs someone at the top. For the Red Reef Trading Company, that person is Spencer Brentwood, the company's founder. An interesting last name if you ask me. A quick Google search will show you that Brentwood is an Old English name meaning burnt wood, or woodland cleared by burning. It's a name that means destruction. That's all we know about him right now. A name, a title, and honestly, that's almost more unsettling than knowing too much. He's clearly important. He built this thing. But Jagex has kept the details incredibly close to their chest. We haven't seen him in person yet in the released content. Whether the Red Reef quest changes that, I guess we're about to find out. So what is actually going to be in the Red Reef quest? Well, here's what we know so far. We'll be going undercover to investigate the Red Reef Trading Company. Flooper, recovering from her injuries, is with us, and the whole thing has a proper spy thriller flavor to it. Players will gain access to Red Rock itself for the first time, the company's island headquarters. That alone is huge. We're going right into the Lion's Den. The quest also introduces underwater diving bell sections, a new gameplay mechanic involving descending into the depths, which I'm guessing is going to be very different to what we can do on Fossil Island. And the Sacred Grove on the Great Conch will also be unlocked and available to players. It's certainly going to bring a lot of interesting content, but the lore potential here is enormous. Right, we've covered everything that is confirmed canon. Now let's get into the fun part, because the old school RuneScape community has been absolutely cooking with these theories since Troubled Tortugans launched, and some of them are genuinely compelling. A quick disclaimer here, everything from here on is fan theory and speculation. None of this is confirmed by Jagex. Got it? Okay, let's go. The Varrock Museum theory. This is a big one, the theory that's dominating the Reddit threads right now. Cast your minds back to Bone Voyage, the quest where you help Varrock Museum reach Fossil Island. At the end of that quest, there's a ship involved, and eagle-eyed players noticed something after completing Troubled Tortugans. The red-sailed ship that appears at the Little Pearl looks strikingly similar to the vessel from Bone Voyage. So the theory goes like this: the Varrock Museum, or people secretly working for them, are somehow funding or connected to the Red Reef Trading Company. The motive? That's where it gets interesting. The museum is obsessed with rare specimens, ancient artifacts, and scientific discovery. The red coral from the reef could be incredibly valuable from a research standpoint. Or maybe they're after something else entirely, something under the coral on the sea floor. It's a theory that makes a lot of narrative sense. The museum has always had a slightly dodgy ends justify the means sort of energy, and it would be a fantastic twist. Allies from an older quest line revealed to be mixed up in something much darker. But what about the Rabid Jack theory? Now, the Varrock Museum theory might be the most discussed one overall, but there's another one rapidly gaining traction, and once you hear it, it's genuinely hard to shake. What if the Red Reef Trading Company is a front for Rabid Jack? For those who need a refresher, because Rabid Jack I don't think is technically in the game, although he is in the dialogue for certain characters, so he does exist in the Gielinor universe for old school RuneScape. Rabid Jack is one of the most feared and dangerous pirates in all of Gielinor. He operates out of the Eastern Ocean, with strong ties to locations like Mosla Harmless, and in RuneScape 3, the Cursed Archipelago, which puts him firmly in the same waters where the Red Reef Trading Company operates. That alone is enough to raise an eyebrow, but the theory goes much deeper than just geography. Here are the key points players are bringing to the table, and again, none of this is confirmed canon. This is pure speculation. The first point, the red sails. Jack is synonymous with a very specific visual identity, dark, threatening, red themed. The mysterious ship that flees the Little Pearl during Troubled Tortugans, red sails. Coincidence? Maybe. But in a game where visual design is intentional, it's a detail that's hard to dismiss. The second idea is that he's done this before. Rabid Jack is known for working through proxies and front organizations, keeping his own hands clean while others do the dirty work. A legitimate looking trading company run by a figurehead named Spencer Brentwood, while Jack pulls the strings from the shadows, fits exactly how he operates. And the third point, the underwater angle. this is where it gets genuinely eerie. Rabid Jack maintains a secret underwater base, hidden near what is assumed to be a temple in the Cursed Archipelago, where he practices necromancy and builds his army of zombie pirates. He is already operating beneath the waves. The Red Reef Trading Company's entire business model is built around underwater operations. Coral dredges, diving bells, seafloor extraction. Could those dredges be covering for something else going on down there? Could the coral itself have connection to Jack's undead rituals or sea magic? Players think it's possible. And so the full theory pieced together looks a little like this. Rabid Jack uses Spencer Brentwood as a respectable face for the company. The red coral harvesting is either genuinely valuable to Jack's operations for resources to fuel dark magic or to disturb something ancient buried on the seafloor. Or it's an elaborate cover that lets him maintain an underwater presence in the region without drawing attention. And when we go undercover in the Red Reef quest and start digging into Red Rock's secrets, we might find a lot more than a coral merchant. And a couple more honourable mentions. Some players have flagged the Red Axe as a possible connection, mostly on thematic grounds. Two organisations with red in the name, both running morally shady commercial operations. It may be a stretch, but old school RuneScape has surprised us before. Other players are convinced the coral dredging is causing deliberate environmental damage, disturbing something ancient buried beneath the reef. Sea creatures, forgotten magic, a ruin that was meant to stay hidden. This could mean a connection to a mysterious RuneScape 3 entity called Xautak, who is linked to black stones, the Shadow Realm, and the undead. We don't know much about this entity, but in RuneScape 3, the Fremennik god V describes it as an evil deity that devastates worlds and creates corpse oceans. Will this continue on to old school RuneScape? I'm not sure, but there's certainly a lot of overlap with the black stones, not to mention the relics found while salvaging, such as the moldy doll, which just happens to have a description that matches dialogue spoken to the player while in the Shadow Realm during Desert Treasure 2. There is a curious connection between the oceans of Gielinor and the Shadow Realm. This, however, could be a whole video on its own. I might do that one soon. Stay tuned. And so the community is buzzing, and honestly, all of these theories feel like they could be true. That's the sign of a really good setup from Jagex. Hats off to them. So where does that leave us? The Red Reef Trading Company are the new antagonists on the block, and Jagex has done a masterful job at introducing them slowly, letting the mystery breathe. Red sails in the distance, a founder's name, a broken survivor with a story to tell. It's not a lot, but it's enough to make us desperate to know more. And with the Red Reef just around the corner, who knows what we'll find out. So, what do you think? Is the Varrock Museum involved? Is Spencer Brentwood going to be one of the great old school RuneScape villains? And what is actually down there on that seafloor? Drop your theories in the comments. I genuinely want to know what you're thinking, because this community has a way of finding angles that I have never even considered. If you enjoyed this breakdown, leave a like and hit subscribe so you don't miss the full lore video when the Red Reef actually drops, because I'm going to be all over it. Until next time, safe travels on the unquiet ocean.